It's okay. This guy will be jobless for a little while. Not a big problem, really. And I should get rid of the storage cart eventually, I think, so that we can move on to better things. The storage cart, I mean, it looks pretty good, but we have decorative pieces that we can place down. I'm going to switch it over to 2 times speed. Place a little bit more road here. And hopefully we can look into our first blacksmithing building. Now, you know, we're not specializing this town too deeply. So, you know, we can just keep, you know, the standard kind of blacksmith look if that's something we want. Are these buildings any different? Not really. How about this? Medieval blacksmith? Ooh! I love this one. This looks nice and it fits this corner. Very nice. Okay, I like that. So once our people remove this tiny chopping block, we'll be able to put that down. Now, blacksmithing does work differently in the Mega Mod Pack than normal. Normally, you just mine up iron bars, and then that's easily transformed into your new tools. This requires iron ore. Now, iron ore isn't an iron bar, and it can't be worked by our blacksmiths. So you're going to need 2 additional buildings here to get this started. You're going to need... What's a village blacksmith? See, now I'm intrigued. Looks like you can run a road through this one. Make it look pretty industrial. That's kind of nice as well. And the smallness of it really fits with the theme. I think running it this way might be okay. Kind of wish I could run it that way. We would have to get rid of these stockpiles to do it. A lot of building options, so, you know, I'm just testing the waters at this point. But beyond just the normal small town blacksmith, oh, that's really quaint. Is there a variant? Yeah, roof variant. Maybe we can just do the small town blacksmith. We have no real need to make anything more complicated than this, really. And when we make an actual official kind of blacksmithing town, we can get away with that. I don't know why it has that extra 2 grid square there for roads and stuff, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna place it like this, and then I'll see if there's any decorative pieces we can place in those areas. Hopefully fill that in a little bit. Let's first off speed up time so they can get rid of that stump that's kind of delaying us here in the construction efforts. I have laid out a few little decorative blocks here. And it looks like our tent has been made. And some scraps of wood sitting by. I don't know what those could be, but you guys will find out. I did find the campfire, though, which is good. Let's go ahead and up to 2 builders, just so we can progress through this a little quicker. Because the more time we waste without tools, the less food we're going to get. And that's not going to be good. So where is our builders? They should be taking that down. They should be constructing these, the little fences here. They have a lot of stuff to do, and I still have homeless people to worry about. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and just lay down our other buildings that are required. So beyond just the blacksmith, you're gonna need a foundry of some kind to melt the metal. Fuel refinery, I think. Is this? What's this? Fuel takes burnable natural resources and converts them into a hotter, more for smelters. Okay. Stacks burners. No. Here's a small fuel refinery. I think that's what we should probably start out with. It is, you know, this is a small village. No need to have anything crazy industrial, but I'm gonna just stick this on the corner there. Now, beyond just the refinery, right? We're gonna need a metal refinery, and that's gonna be a little different. I think that's in here. Iron smelter, yes. So we're gonna need one of these as well, and luckily, I can kind of fill in this whole square. Now, these buildings look kind of similar, but they do serve, you know, different purposes, and hopefully will function a little different as well. There we go. Finally Finally getting there. Ah, good. The wood chopper's working again and everything. Now, we can go ahead and place our blacksmith. I do like the small town one. That does look pretty nice. And I could, in theory, just kind of stick it here like that, like it's an attachment onto the smelters and stuff. Which I think will look pretty cool. So so we're gonna take firewood that we chop and then turn it into coals. That's kind of what the fuel refinery does. And then the iron smelter will take the fuel from this and the iron ore, combine them to bars, which is then created for the blacksmith to make tools. Yeah, a bit of a long process, isn't it? Let's go ahead and clear out, possibly get some more stone and iron. If anything, that's about the hardest kind of resource to maintain early on because you don't have a constant renewable source of it, unlike lumber. Okay, there we go. So we have a small fuel refinery. And you can make fuel from different things, from coal, coke, charcoal, fire bundles, firewood, but we're just going to use normal firewood. I think that'll work out just fine for us. So construction away on that, which is good. We have our two builders just hammering and sawing away at this structure here. Going to be our smelter. And beyond that, let's check up over here. Let's see. Hunter, gatherer, gather, forester. Hunter, forester, gatherer, gatherer. I think that should cover everyone. I think we have enough people living here. Let's double check that. You can see everyone's paths by simply clicking on their home. So this person lives here, works here. These people live here, works in this area. And these as well. You can also check from the businesses where their populace is coming from. And you can see we're not drawing anyone from this area, which is good. Means they don't have to walk far to get to their jobs, as I accidentally paused the game. Here's the little tent. I added some little benches, a little campfire, crate, you know. Make it look a little bit more country-like. Very rugged out there in the woodland. And then, of course, we have our main village. Now, we can go ahead, start making our iron. And we can start maintaining our tools. Did I already make a blacksmith? Oh, it looks like the smelter is the same as the blacksmith. So, there we go. Now this whole chain is working. We are using one log and one iron to make a tool. You can make wooden tools, stone tools, and things. But I definitely prefer just normal iron tools. They last a decent amount of time. Steel tools, of course, lasting longer. Carbon steel, gemstone. I mean, you know, there's some variety that you can do in there for sure. As everyone works. Pours, you can see the charcoal being worked there, and then the ingots being poured out the side of this building there. So hopefully that'll turn over decently. Now, other than that, let's go ahead and expand our overall town. We have tool production, but obviously you want to have some clothes for the winter. So that's something that we might want to look at next, beyond a couple more little homes. Let's think about some roads first. I think expanding the road network would be a good idea. Leave a little space there. Tools are low, but it's better than being empty. That's, you know, that might look pretty good. Nah. Nope. I want to try and not use the default homes. Yeah, let's have a little wooden town abode there, like near the industrial area. I think that'll be good. We'll get rid of one builder. We don't need two currently. Keep it at ×2 speed. Let's see. We've produced 2 total tools so far. We've produced plenty of little fuel bits, some iron and things. We have our first little tiny row home being constructed at this point. And there we go. Now, maybe what we can do is decorate this area a little bit and make it feel a little bit more a home. So, what can we use for this? Modular buildings? What is this stuff? This is urban houses. Oh, bakery first floor. What's this one? This one is an urban food market first floor. That's kind of cool. You can expand on those. Bakery. Winery. Okay, decorative pieces. That's what I'm looking for. Pile of resources. So just to make it look, you know, a little bit more expanded and slightly more industrial, what we'll do is just stick those along. Copper pipes, no. Furniture pile, no. Though I could use technically just one of these furniture piles, just to give us little tables possibly. That'd be okay. Where'd it go? Hall components. Where'd the furniture go? Fancy furniture pile. Oh, this actually requires that resource to plant it down. So unless I do have that, then I don't think that'd be a good idea. Let's do generic items, I think. So you can have some barrels here and there. These just take logs. Nothing too crazy about them. Oh, we can get some bags. Let's see. I want another bag variant. Something like that. Well, these are small barrels, I guess. But they'll work. Why not? There we go. Just by the barn there. And then maybe a street sign. Let's see, can I get a good variant? Yeah, the standard arrow is a good one. There we go. That ain't bad. You got little bridges, you got fences. Ooh, plants and garden stuff. Some statues. Some wooden statues. That's pretty nice as well. Large carts. Wooden benches. Ooh, playground. Little jungle gyms and things. Doesn't really fit the theme, I don't think. No variants of the campfire. Some rocks. Oh, we can do some boxes. You know, this stuff is just kind of seen from afar. It just fills in some of those dead areas. There's a little spot in the road, though, that I need to fix, apparently. Yeah, and it just gives it, make it look a little bit more filled in of an area. Go ahead and also take some stone away. That's potentially getting in everyone's path. And here is the first little row home being built. Blacksmith lives there. Currently the fuel refiner does as well. And with this final little building here, we'll actually have total and complete residency, and that will then be expanded upon. I can't do the town abode. I don't have lumber. What am I doing? I need to pick a different house. I need to really look at resources a little bit better instead of just picking the house that I like. Small colonial? No. Nordic country. Do like the country homes, but we don't really have the hardwood required for it. Could do a tiny shack. Could also do a forest home. Family townhouse and stuff. Maybe another little row home would be okay over here. What's this? This is a 2-story one. That's pretty cool. Let's play with that a little bit. Let's do. Is there an angled? Okay, there is a street variant. Okay. So let's get a 2-story here. Now, do we want the thatch version, or do we want... I think the wooden roof version would be better. So we'll do that. Okay. We will then get rid of this structure here so I can place down the next one. So I'm going to do an L shape this way. As soon as everyone moves the food cart items out of the way, I think we'll be good. I just hope the woodcutter can kind of keep up with the refinery, the fuel refinery. Because if he can't, then that's going to spell out some problems. Because then we'll be getting cold and things a little bit sooner. Okay, there we go. So let's try this again. We got this here. Yes. And oh wait, hold on. I think I need to delete this real quick and use the wooden roof variant. I think I accidentally used the wrong one on that one. So again, does this have a path? No. Okay. There's the wooden roof variant. And then I wouldn't mind. Let's see how. Yeah, that does connect. Just like that. And let's see. Is it possible to hook them up not in a linear fashion? That's the question. I'll have to wait until those are built to test that out. So let's just speed up time here. Let that just progress through. Reserve of stone is low, and that's no good. Let's get some stone. Now, you don't want to try and keep your people too far away from the village. So if you start really running out of stone, I suggest just building a quarry somewhere. Because it does take time for them to go back and forth, and potential starvation issues, potential weather issues can prevent kind of the turnover rate to be worth it. Where's our food? We're good on food. Let's think about any other industry that we might want. So, lumber construction, saw pit, sawmill, but I mean, we could do a sawmill just here at the back end. Don't want to look too bad. What else do we got? We got shipyard, brickworks, medieval kiln. That's something to consider, but let's start with some fabric. So we're gonna need a weavers probably to make cloth out of. A small town tailor. Oh, that's adorable. A tannery. That's something to consider as well. Does that require the hardwood? You might have to make the hardwood first. Which may require this structure after all. Really kind of wish I could center it a little bit better. But this is an industrial area, so let's not worry. Oh, there was variance to it. I didn't even see. So red roof. Yeah, I like the rustic brown. Kind of just standard wood there. Oh, good. Building is going up. So we got a 2-story left side. Here is the 2-story gate. Outside corner row. We can expand the roadway a little bit. Just make this entryway kind of fit the grandeur of that door. Make the path shoot off this way. And this way, just like that. We can leave that alleyway there. Okay, materials are still good. Looks like our tools are recovered, and everyone has their tools again. So we're good on that. We have a good amount of food hopefully coming from this area. Lumber as well. You know, we'll make the log limit 1,000, I think. There we go. Our firewood stockpiles are doing great. Stone, not so much. You know, I get the feeling 2 builders is probably the way to go going forward. That way I don't have to just speed up the time times 10 constantly just to get progress done. It's not super efficient to do it like that. But it's not too bad. There we go. You know, I do like the height drop going on there. You know, get a little bit of a step build up going. That ain't too bad. But now, the final test, the main reason I wanted to speed up time is to simply see. Now, it matches like that, but let's use the opposite side. And you can see it's off. I wanted a doorway to be on this side as well, but it looks like we'll just kind of finish off the curve. That's not a big problem. There we go. So I guess this is kind of the gateway into town. Things like that. We'll maybe make a little tavern or something outside of it. And we can make the road a little bit thicker out that way. And then we can expand the town a little bit more in this direction, kind of round it off. I don't think that'd be too bad of an idea. Let's see, what about civic buildings maybe? Maybe let's start with some health. So mini hospital now. Health center. I do like all these thatched and new wood covered buildings. They all match and have a good theme that plays off each other really well. Barber shop, medieval. Looks okay. Dentist. Herbalist. Ooh, that's what I'm missing as well. I'm missing a proper herbalist. A different kind. Small town herbalist. That's kind of cute. In fact, I could put that out here. Because, you know, just like your gatherers and things, your herbalist does better more towards the wilderness. So we can just stick that like so. And then a small little hut for him. You know, let's put it on the other side of the road. I think right there. And then let's go ahead and assign someone as an herbalist, just so we don't forget. We have gatherer, herbalist. Perfect. As I close out the menu that I didn't want to close. Okay, builders on the way. Times 10 speed. Ah, great. So let's assign some lumber. And start getting these things here. There we go. And that will give us some proper timber to work with and hopefully to make some better buildings in the long run. What do we have here? No materials. So we're out of iron. Are we out of firewood or something? No? We'll see. What's your concern, question mark person? You gonna be the herbalist? You are. Could I rename you? No. Okay, you can't rename these guys. Good, because if I had to try and do that, then my spreadsheet would probably break my computer, unlike timber and stone. Okay, so population is growing nicely. We now have an herbalist, albeit a small one, but we'll provide some health for this small little community that we have going on, and they will get a small home as well. So that's good. Yeah, see, my favorite part about Banished is as your town grows, you can see this right side, it's very blending in with like the nature, the trees and things, you know. There's no real city limits being formed. It's all kind of just crowded in and close. Our village itself is a little bit different, you know. We have some clearings. Some trees have grown back, but, you know, it's a much slower process. And as you clear cut these away, you kind of take away all the beauty a little bit of it. Now you can go back in and manually plant some trees using the decorative tool, but never really looks the same as, say, something like this over here. Oh, it looks like we have some lumber finally. Okay, so that's going into the material stockpile. Alright, let's get one town service at least planted for the future. A schoolhouse would be nice. College, small schoolhouse. This looks so Japanese, I love it. Right there by the barn. Nordic schoolhouse, not impressive. Witches school? Okay. I like the one-room schoolhouse as well. Ooh, the village one is pretty quaint. Would kind of prefer a darker wood. I think I'm liking this one. I like this small town school. Now, do we want the thatch or wooden? I'm thinking wooden just because we have wooden up there. We can balance it out using this one down here. So let's go ahead and plop that. That's going to be our first major civic building. And you do want a schoolhouse. Educated workers work more efficiently and quicker and provide services to your town a lot easier. They do take a little bit of time. You don't gain as laborers as quickly, but it is worth the investment, and I would say invest early. That way you can kind of reap the benefits as early as possible. It's going to slow your growth, but I think it's It's a good thing to do. Anyways, that's it for this episode of Banished, I think. 32 minutes of chilling out, building up our village, adding some details and things. Has been a good chill time with you guys. If you all enjoy Banished, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment down below if you want any specific layouts, any tips, tricks that you guys know of, like, you know, how I messed up with the stockpiles here initially. Also, go ahead and watch my other videos for more creative goodness such as this, and I will see you guys in the next video.